Welcome, adventurers, to another tale from the shadowed corners of Azeroth. Today, we're diving into the forgotten lore of a figure who thrives where heroes falter, the Dark Iron Entrepreneur. From the fiery depths of Shadowforge City to the war-torn bridge of Thandal Span, this neutral vendor built his legacy with coin, cunning, and dark iron steel. Who was this mysterious dwarf? Trading axes and dynamite to Alliance and Horde alike. Grab your ale, stoke the forge, and join us as we uncover his story, a saga of commerce in a world of chaos. The Ledger of the Dark Iron Entrepreneur. In the heart of Blackrock Mountain, where molten rivers glowed like veins of fire, and the air thrummed with the distant roar of Ragnaros, the Fire Lord, the Dark Iron Clan forged a legacy of ambition, sorcery, and unyielding pride. Theirs was a world of shadow and flame, where grudges burned as fiercely as the forges of Shadowforge City. Yet, amidst the clang of anvils and the chants of elemental summoners, one dark iron dwarf walked a different path. Known only as the Entrepreneur, he was no warrior, no mage, but a merchant, whose cunning and ledger outshone the blades of his kin. In a clan defined by vengeance, he saw wealth and opportunity, building a trade empire in the margins of a world at war. The Entrepreneur's story begins in the years before the Cataclysm, during the twilight of the Second War and the uneasy peace that followed. The Dark Iron Clan, exiled to Blackrock Mountain after their defeat in the War of the Three Hammers, was a fractured people. Centuries earlier, sorcerer Thane Tharason had bound the clan to Ragnaros in a desperate bid for power, trading freedom for the Fire Lord's fiery might. The Dark Irons became a people of dark sorcery, their halls filled with the glow of molten iron and the whispers of elemental pacts. Their feud with the Bronzebeard and Wildhammer dwarves had left deep scars, and their campaigns to reclaim Cosmodan were relentless. Yet, the Entrepreneur saw beyond the clan's obsession with conquest. Where others saw enemies, he saw customers. Where others saw war, he saw profit. Little is known of the Entrepreneur's early life. Some whisper he was born in the lower districts of Shadowforge City, the son of a forge worker who toiled in the shadow of Ragnaros' great anvil. Others claim he was a merchant's apprentice, trained in the art of trade before breaking away from the clan's rigid hierarchy. A few even speculated he was in exile, cast out for questioning the Fire Lord's dominion or refusing to swear allegiance to Tharason's heirs. Whatever his origins, the Entrepreneur was no typical dark iron dwarf. His hands, calloused not from wielding a hammer, but from counting coins, were ill-suited to the clan's militaristic culture. His mind sharp and calculating, saw wealth in the chaos of Azeroth's battlegrounds, and he set out to claim it. By the time of the Second War, the Entrepreneur had established himself in the wetlands, a sodded, treacherous region north of Blackrock Mountain. Here, at the fortified outpost of Dun Modur, he set up his first shop, a cramped stall within the walls of a dark iron-controlled inn. Dun Modur was a grim place, its stone towers weathered by Alliance sieges and its streets patrolled by hostile dark iron dwarves loyal to Tharason's vision of dominance. The outpost was a forward base for the clan's incursions into Cosmodan, symbol of their refusal to bow to Ironforge's rule. Yet, within this bastion of aggression, the Entrepreneur was an anomaly, a neutral trader who welcomed any customer, be they Alliance scout, Horde raider, or wandering mercenary, provided they could brave the perils of the wetlands to reach his door. The wetlands were a harsh land, a maze of marshes and bogs where crocolisks lurked in murky waters and dragon maw orcs clashed with human settlers. The air was thick with mist, the ground sodden underfoot, and the threat of ambush was ever present. Dun Modur itself was a fortress of dark stone, its walls scarred by cannon fire, and its gates guarded by dwarves whose eyes glowed with suspicion. Adventurers seeking the Entrepreneur's shop faced a gauntlet of hostile patrols, their axes and muskets ready to cut down intruders. Yet, those who reached the inn found a dwarf of surprised calm, his beard neatly trimmed, his apron stained with ink rather than blood. His stall, tucked in a corner of the inn's smoky common room, was a haven of order amidst the chaos, its shelves lined with goods that spoke of dark iron craftsmanship. The Entrepreneur's wares were as eclectic as they were rare. He offered finely crafted leather armor, each piece imbued with the dark artistry of his clan, the mystic sarong, its fabric woven with subtle enchantments for spellcasters. The stock and pants, lightweight and silent for rogues slipping through the shadows, and the saber leggings, sturdy enough for warriors braving the wetlands dangers. His weapons were equally prized: the callous axe, its blade honed to a cruel edge, and the marauder axe, a heavy weapon that sang of the clan's brutal heritage. For those with a taste for destruction, he sold heavy dynamite, volatile components a testament to Dark Iron's mastery of explosives. He even offered enchanted formulas, rare scrolls that promised to imbue weapons with arcane power. Each item bore the mark of Shadowforge's forge, a reminder of the clan's skill even in exile. His prices were steep, a reflection of the risk he took in trading with the outsiders in a war-torn land. Coin for quality, he would say, his voice a low rumble, as he slid a pair of stalker pants across the counter. No questions, no grudges. The entrepreneur's neutrality was a calculated choice. While the Thorium Brotherhood, a rebel faction within the Dark Iron clan, sought to break free from Ragnaros' control, and others pledged their souls to the Firelord's cause, he aligned with neither. His independence drew suspicion from his kin, who saw commerce with outsiders as a betrayal of the clan's insular pride. Yet, the entrepreneur was no fool. He paid his tilts to the local commanders, ensuring his stall remained unobtrusive, and he kept his ledger clean. His neutrality was his shield, allowing him to thrive where others faltered. Life in Dun Modur was a daily gamble. The outpost was a flashpoint in the region's conflicts, its walls battered by Alliance assaults, and its streets tense with the threat of betrayal. The entrepreneur's shop was a dangerous destination for low-level adventurers who risked death at the hands of Dark Iron patrols or the wetland's natural dangers. Yet, his reputation grew among those who survived the journey. A human rogue, cloaked in shadow, might slip into the inn to purchase a callous axe, its balance perfect for the deadly work they do. A troll hunter, wary of the dwarves outside, might barter for heavy dynamite to clear a path through the swamp. Even Alliance soldiers, hardened by battles at Menenthal Harbor, would brave the outpost for the entrepreneur's enchanted formulas, their rarity unmatched in the region. The entrepreneur's days were long, beginning before dawn when he would tally his stock and polish his wares. The inn's common room, lit by flickering torches, was a cacophony of voices. Dark Iron soldiers boasting of victories, adventurers haggling over prices, and the occasional bard strumming a lute in the corner. The entrepreneur moved through all of it with quiet efficiency, his ledger always open, his quill scratching out transactions. He spoke little of himself, deflecting questions away with a smile or a comment about the weather. Swamp's wetter than a Murloc's lair today, he might say, steering the conversation back to business. His customers, grateful for his goods, rarely pressed him further. But Dun Modur was not to last. When the cataclysm struck, shattering Azeroth's landscapes and flooding the wetlands with tidal surges, the outpost fell into disrepair. The Dark Iron forces retreated, their grip on the region weakened by the chaos. The entrepreneur, ever pragmatic, saw the writing on the wall. He packed his wares, secured his ledger, and abandoned Dun Modur, seeking a new base of operations. Destination? The Thandal Span, a massive stone bridge spanning the border between the wetlands and the Arathi Highlands. Here, a small camp in the shadow of the Dwarven district, he re-established his trade, his stall a modest but resilient fixture amidst the turmoil. The Thandal Span was a marvel of Dwarven engineering, its twin arches stretching across a chasm where the sea met the land. The bridge was a crossroads for the adventurers traveling between Cosmodan and the Northern Territories, its stones scarred by battles between Alliance defenders, horde raiders, and lingering Dark Iron forces. The entrepreneur's new camp, nestled among tents and makeshift barricades, was less perilous than Dun Modur, proximity to Alliance territories making it a safer destination for customers. The Arathi Highlands were a land of rolling hills and windswept plains, their beauty marred by the scars of war. The camp itself was a rough place, its inhabitants a mix of Alliance soldiers, adventurers, and traders, all wary of the horde's presence across the bridge. The entrepreneur's wares remained the same: leather armor, axes, dynamite, and enchanted formulas, but his clientele grew, drawn by the relative ease of reaching him. A dwarf paladin from Ironforge might purchase a mystic sarong, its enchantments a boon for his holy spells. An orc warrior, fresh from Stromgard's runes, might buy a marauder axe, its weight a match for his brutal strength. The entrepreneur treated them all the same, his prices fixed, his demeanor professional. Quality don't care who swings the axe, he'd say, counting out change with practiced ease. His stall, though small, was a beacon of reliability, a place where faction lines blurred in the pursuit of rare goods. The move to Thandal Span came at a pivotal time for the Dark Iron clan. The cataclysm had not only reshaped the land, but also the clan's fortunes. Sorcerer Thane Tharasan's death years earlier had left his widow, Moria Tharasan, as the clan's leader. Moria, a Bronzebeard by birth, sought to redeem the Dark Irons, forging an uneasy alliance with Ironforge and integrating her people into the alliance. This shift divided the clan. Some embraced Moria's vision, training as warlocks and mages to serve their new allies. Others, loyal to Ragnaros or drawn to the Twilight Hammer cult, resisted, clinging to the old ways of fire and conquest. The entrepreneur, true to his form, chose neither side. His loyalty was to his trade, his customers, and the gold that flowed through his hands. Life at Thandalspan was a study in adaptation. The entrepreneur rose each morning to the sound of gulls and the creaking of the bridge's supports. His stall opened by sunrise. The camp was a bustling hub, its tents filled with the chatter of adventurers and the clank of armor. The entrepreneur's day was spent haggling, restocking, and maintaining his ledger, his quill a constant companion. He learned the rhythms of the highlands, the way the wind carried the scent of salt from the sea, the way the bridge trembled under the weight of a passing caravan. He befriended no one, yet his presence was a comfort to those who frequented his stall. To them, he was a constant in a world of upheaval, a dwarf who asked only for coin and offered quality in return. The entrepreneur's neutrality drew scrutiny from both his kin and their enemies. Dark Iron loyalists passing through the camp would mutter about his lack of allegiance, their hands itching for their axes. The Lion soldiers, wary of any Dark Iron, watched him closely, suspecting treachery. Yet, the entrepreneur navigated these tensions with the same cunning that had served him in Dun Modur. He paid his dues to the camp's commanders, shared a portion of his profits with the guards, and kept his stall free of faction colors. His neutrality was his strength, a shield against the chaos that surrounded him. His wares each told a story of their own. Each piece of armor, each axe, each stick of dynamite bore the mark of the Dark Iron craftsmanship, a reminder of the clan's skill, even in exile. The mystic sarong, with its intricate stitching, hinted at the clan's sorcerer's heritage, fabric designed to channel arcane energies. The callous axe, its blade etched with subtle runes, spoke of the Dark Iron's military pride, even as the entrepreneur sold it to outsiders. The heavy dynamite, volatile and precise, reflected the clan's mastery of explosives, a legacy of their mining and warfare traditions. These goods were more than merchandise. They were a bridge between the Dark Iron clan's insular world and the broader tapestry of Azeroth. As the years passed, the entrepreneur became a fixture of Thandalspan, his stall a constant amidst the shifting tides of war. The Dark Iron clan's integration into the Alliance brought changes. Shadowforge City opened its gates to outsiders, and the Dark Iron warlocks and mages trained alongside Bronzebeard warriors in Ironforge. Yet the entrepreneur remained apart, his camp a neutral ground where adventurers of all stripes could trade without fear of judgment. As time passed, the entrepreneur continued his days of rising before dawn, when the first light crept over the Arathi hills, casting long shadows across the bridge. Getting up from his cot in the back of his stall, his breath visible in the chilly morning air, he would set to work polishing his goods and tallying his ledger. The camp around him stirred to life. Alliance guards patrolled the perimeter, their eyes scanning for horde scouts. Merchants haggled over fish caught in a nearby sea, and adventurers sharpened their blades, preparing for quests in Stromgard's ruins or the ogre-infested highlands. His stall was more than a place of trade. It was a symbol of the Dark Iron clan's complex evolution. Each sale would act as a small act of defiance against the clan's insular past, bridge between Shadowforge's shadows and Azeroth's broader tapestry. Adventurers who traded with him carried Dark Iron craftsmanship into battle across the world, from the jungles of Stranglethorn to the frozen wastes of Northrend, spreading the clan's legacy in ways its warriors never could. The entrepreneur was no hero, no champion of the Alliance or the Horde, but a dwarf who had carved his own niche in a world defined by conflict. He bore no banner, swore no oaths, and sought no glory. His battles were fought with quill and coin, his victories measured in the clink of gold and the satisfaction of a deal well struck. As the Fourth War raged and the Dragon Isles later awakened, his stall remained a constant, a place where adventurers could find quality goods and a moment's respite from the chaos. In a world of shifting allegiances, his was a fixed point, a Dark Iron who had forged his own path through cunning, resilience, and an unyielding belief in the power of trade. In the records of Azeroth's history, the Dark Iron entrepreneur is a footnote, a minor figure overshadowed by the likes of Moria Tharasan or Ragnaros himself. Yet his story is a testament to the resilience of those who chose their own path. In a clan forged by fire and vengeance, he found wealth in neutrality, opportunity in chaos. His ledger, always balanced, was his legacy, a record of the deals made, goods sold, and a life lived on his own terms. As the winds of the Arathi howled across the Thandal span, the entrepreneur stood at his stall. His eyes scanned the horizon for the next customer, the next coin, the next chance to prove that even in the heart of Blackrock's shadow, a single dwarf could forge his own fortune. And there you have it, adventurers. Tale of the Dark Iron Entrepreneur, a dwarf who forged his legacy not in battle, but in the quiet clink of coin and the art of the deal. From the molten heart of Blackrock Mountain to the windswept bridge of Thandal Span, his stall stands as a testament to cunning and resilience in a world torn by war. What did you think of the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and let us know which World of Warcraft character you want us to explore next. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to join our clan for more epic lore. Until next time, keep your axes sharp and your gold close. Farewell.